You know, in the world of high-end PC gaming, there's always this one big question that dominates every single new hardware launch.
I mean, the top-tier card always gets the headlines, right? It captures all the imagination. But is it actually maybe a little more power than you truly need? Is the flagship always the right chip to be on?
Well, today, we're going to find the answer to that exact question. We're putting the brand new RTX 5080 through a tough, three-part gauntlet to really measure its real-world gaming chops and see if it is, in fact, the ultimate sweet spot for 4K gaming.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll get acquainted with our contender and the absolute beast of a rig it's running in. Then, the fun really begins as we throw it into a three-stage gauntlet built to push it to its limits. And of course, once the dust settles, we'll deliver the final verdict. Okay, let's dive right in. Look, every great test needs a rock-solid foundation. And for this, we have an absolute powerhouse of a build, with every single part provided by MSI. The star of the show is, of course, the MSI RTX 5080 Expert. What's really neat about this card is its clean two-fan design, which, as you're about to see, is shockingly cool and efficient. We've got it paired with a modern Intel Ultra 7 CPU, a feature-packed Z8090 motherboard, all juiced up by a beefy 1300-watt power supply. And we're seeing it all on this jaw-dropping 4K 240Hz OLED monitor. This thing is ready for absolutely anything.
All right, let's get to our first challenge. We are starting with a modern, graphically intense game that is actually, get this, well optimized. The visually stunning Black Myth Wukong. And we are holding nothing back. We're talking 4K resolution, graphics cranked to the absolute cinematic maximum, and we're turning on demanding ray tracing, with frame generation set to ×4. This is the whole shebang.
So, what's the result? An unbelievably smooth and stable average of around 150 frames per second. For these kinds of settings in a brand new AAA game, that's just fantastic. It feels completely fluid. And this right here? This shows you just how efficient that two-fan design is. I mean, even under a full gaming load, with bright studio lights blasting right on it, the GPU temperature barely broke 65 degrees Celsius. It's a monster, but a cool running one.
So here's the big takeaway from this one. Top-tier performance in new games, it really hinges on smart tech. AI-powered features like super resolution and frame generation, they aren't just little extras anymore. They're basically becoming mandatory if you want that perfect, high-fidelity 4K experience.
All right, next up we're facing a notorious opponent. Monster Hunter World is a beautiful game, don't get me wrong, but it is famously brutally unoptimized. It's known for punishing even the highest-end hardware out there. So you know the drill by now. We are pushing it to the absolute limit. 4K resolution with every single setting maxed out. And you better believe we are relying on DLSS and frame generation to help us tame this beast of a title. And get this, despite the game's reputation for being so difficult to run, the RTX 5080 just powers right through it. We're talking a rock-solid 170 frames per second, even when we're running around in those massive wide-open maps. Just buttery smooth.
And would you just look at that temperature? Even when it's being pushed this hard by a game that isn't playing nice, the card stays incredibly cool at just 68 degrees Celsius. The efficiency is just undeniable.
Now this test really highlights two crucial things. First, it shows just how vital these performance-boosting technologies are when a game's own optimization just isn't there. And second, look at that VRAM usage, almost 13 gigabytes. This tells us that for modern games at max settings, that 12 GB mark is officially in the rearview mirror. For our final challenge, we're turning to a true legend, an ageless classic. It's an older game, sure, but it's beautifully optimized and has been updated with all the latest and greatest graphics tech. Of course, I'm talking about The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This is where the 5080's flexibility really shines. If you turn on that stunning next-gen ray tracing, you get a beautiful cinematic experience at a silky smooth 160 FPS. But if you turn it off and just go for pure raw performance, that number just skyrockets. That's right, well over 200 frames per second. This is the kind of raw, unassisted power that can completely saturate a high-refresh 4K monitor. And it proves just how capable this card is when you pair it with a well-optimized classic.
So at the end of the day, this card doesn't make you choose. You want the modern eye candy of ray tracing? Go for it. You want to chase those pure, high refresh rate speeds? The RTX 5080 delivers both experiences with absolute ease.
Okay, so we ran it through that demanding gauntlet. What did we actually learn? Where does the RTX 5080 really fit into the high-end 4K gaming landscape?
Well, the results really do speak for themselves. Across this whole range of challenges, a modern, well-optimized game, a brute force, poorly optimized one, and a refreshed classic, this card delivered exceptionally high frame rates at maximum 4K settings every single time.
And that brings us to our final conclusion. The RTX 5080 offers incredible performance. It is both ridiculously powerful and remarkably cool and efficient. It has more than enough power for any game you can throw at it today, and that's what positions it as the truly smart choice. It lets you avoid paying that extra premium for the absolute top-of-the-line performance that, let's be honest, you might not even use. This whole thing proves that the sweet spot isn't always at the absolute top of the stack. The smartest choice is the one that gives you all the power you need and then some without demanding a price you don't. So the only question left is the one you have to answer for yourself.
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell to the later update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end and see you in the next video.